Now I'm sharing my screen. I hope all of you are able to see it.
Yes.
You can, right? Fine. So, guys, I will tell you what is the agenda of today, what we will be seeing in our first class. All of you are more or less from the technical background. Some of you are not having any experience in Linux. That is totally fine. Well and good. We will be seeing everything of the Linux from the very scratch in our classes. All right. I'll be explaining you all the concepts of the Linux, and inside Linux what Red Hat Academy is providing for US certification. What are all the books are available? All the books or soft copies of the books will be provided to you, and the video recording classes as well. And also, in how many parts the Linux what is an operating system is, and who is Linus Torvalds, and what is Linux, how it started and why, what is open source, who is Red Hat, and what need Linux is fulfilling in this world. Everything we will be discussing here in the first class. We won't be jumping right into the technicalities in the first class, but second class onwards we'll be doing the basic commands, and then I will be guiding you with the lab assistance that Red Hat is Academy is providing, and everything will be going on with the from the very scratch. So all of you who don't have any experience inside working in as a Linux admin, or you don't know what is Linux, that is totally all right. We'll be seeing it from the very basics. And for those working professionals, you must be aware of what is the environment looks like, okay, of Linux and architecture and all. But that is not enough. We need to understand all the basic administrative tasks and configuration tasks as well. Okay. Now let us start for that. See, we will discuss 3 W's first. Okay.
Hello, excuse me, Guru Prasad.
Yeah.
Can you also add in your agenda today what the course content and how long it will be when you this is a demo class.
Everything we will be discussing. How long the classes will be going on for the RHCSA, and Linux is divided into RHCSA and CE, the two parts. In RHCSA again, you will be getting 2 books for it, and everything I'll be discussing you. I'll be showing you the soft copy of the same books that we are going to practice and learn here.
And also you will be sharing these videos which we can download it on our future purpose.
Yeah, not me, but Soumya madam, who has reached you, or Sojanya madam. She'll be helping you in all of these things.
Okay.
She'll guide you with the books, okay, and she'll be providing you if any assistance needed. Okay.
Okay.
No worries. We'll be starting here. So we'll see what, why, and who. The 3 important W's. Okay. What is Linux? First of all, we'll see. So to understand Linux, I'll ask any of you having any experience of Linux. Will you please tell me what is a Linux, why we should opt for Linux, and who is Red Hat? In one single line, please explain me what is Linux. What do you understand by it? In one line.
So command-based operating system, and
mostly used in Linux.
Command line. Yeah, command line. So we have GUI as well, but most used is command line operating system, and it's available in different flavors of Unix, CentOS, and Ubuntu, Linux, and we have different.
There are different flavors available. Yeah, correct.
So, and it's robust and multitasking operating system.
It is a multitasking operating system. Okay.
So we have other flexibilities and advantages using Linux. So this is main. Yeah,
that is true. But first of all, what is Linux actually? It is overall operating system, isn't it?
Yes, it's open.
It is an operating system. Like various operating systems are available in the market in today's world. For example, most of us use Windows. Some of you use Linux, some use Mac. Okay. And operating system, when you use in your mobile phones, mostly we use Android here in India. Okay. So these are all operating systems. So can I say that operating system is nothing but a resource manager? Can I say that?
Yes.
That all the resources that I'm having in my system, the operating system manages all of them. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. What are all the resources? Like hardware I'm having the RAM, I'm having the CPU. All of these things are called resources. And all of them, how I can use? I need an intermediate. So operating system just works on that level. Okay. A program that acts as an intermediary between a user of a computer and the computer's hardware and software resources. That is called an operating system. Okay. See here, you can see that I've segregated the Linux part into two different things. I've segregated it in first one is Linux is open source, and the second one is Linux is an operating system. So what do you mean by an open source thing? What do you understand by open source? Any one of you? Can you please?
Yeah, the
Inform me?
code
It's
is
available free.
available free, and
Yeah.
anyone can develop their
Yeah.
own operating system.
Open source is nothing but free. Okay, it is for free. See, with the open source, what are all the tasks and activities that we can do? See here, it is presented like we can download a software. It could be a software. I can download it. I can deploy it in my machine, and then I can work on it. If I wish, I can modify the software as well, which most of the operating system does not allow. Linux operating system allows the modification of the source code. Source code is nothing but the codes that are written so as to the operating system will work on a particular hardware. Okay. So if you are a developer, if you have ample knowledge of how to modify a software of operating system or the source code itself, you can modify. That is called open source. Okay. Open source you can modify, but if you wish to modify the source code of Windows or Mac, is that allowed? No,
No.
it isn't allowed because it has the license of copyright in the proprietor name itself. Okay, so Microsoft holds the proprietary of the all the Windows operating system source codes. Correct. So you can't modify them. But Linux is open source. That is why you can download it, deploy it, perform, modify it if you wish, and then redistribute it again. You can modify and use it for yourself or for your community. That's okay. But open source community allows you, once you are modified, you can distribute it with the community, open source community. Okay. Once you have made some changes, you can give it to them. They will make it verified. If you want to make one of it is operating system, one of your own flavors or own distributions, you can do that as well. So you are aware of the distributions, variety of distributions available for Linux. Like someone said, like you have Ubuntu, you have CentOS, correct? So like that, let me tell you, at least in the market in today's world, at least you will get more than 200 types of Linux or distributions or flavors of Linux available with you. Okay, more than 200 types of. But for other operating systems, they have the monopoly. They won't let you to change or modify. They will only allow the particular developer, they will hire some developers. They will change it according to their own needs. Obviously, they will see what is the market is requiring. But the changes and updates and the security purpose is not that strong in other operating systems. But in Linux, because it is open source, whatever the problem arrives, the open source community works on it. Okay, it works day and night, and it allows you, because it is open source, anyone can has the access to control or modify or do some changes in it. So they easily give the updates, easily change it, change the required security settings and the kernel updations, everything they do it faster pace. Okay, that is why this Linux operating system is hugely used in many big industries like airways, healthcare industries, financial, banking industries. Okay, that is the
Guru Prasad, excuse me. If you have any doubts or question, you want us to hold till the break, or can we interact?
Yeah, you can interact at any time. Okay.
Okay. So one question: who is then owner of the Linux? You said that okay, Windows, Microsoft is the owner. Yes.
I'll be coming to that. Yeah, I will be coming to that. Who invented it? What was the purpose? The guy who invented it. What was the problem that he faced? That is why he had to invent Linux. Okay.
Yeah, because you said that anybody can develop many flavors, so it's
anybody can develop. Okay, anybody can develop, but the proprietor is still there, but you are allowed to make some changes in it. Okay.
Okay. Because SUSE Linux is there, Red Hat Linux is there.
Yeah, there are many distributions of Linux. They are all modified or changed versions of the same Linux. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So that license they provide, because in open source also, you get two type of licenses actually. Okay, one is copyleft license and another one is permissive license. So the copyleft license, it allows you to design and encourage the code to keep open source. But the permissive license, it does not allow fully to change you or modify you. But Linux, in the Linux case, the open source community, it gives you the copyleft license, which means you can change or modify anything according to your own need. And if that is seen valuable in the society, the updates will be given to each and every user of that same distribution. Is that correct? Got it?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. What is an operating system? We discussed. But in the operating system architecture, there is some basic difference between the other operating systems and in Linux operating system. So what is the basic difference? In every other operating system, you have one of your particular hardware with you. You are going to install one particular operating system according to your need on that particular hardware. You directly install your operating system on top of it. But in Linux, it is just a bit different. Every other part of the architecture is the same. Other layers are all the same. But on top of your hardware, what you do, you install your operating system. But the center part of your operating system is your kernel. So kernel is altogether a different concept. We'll be seeing in the classes. We have separate chapters for it, and we'll be learning that in our upcoming classes. So what kernel does, I will just tell you briefly. Kernel has multiple modules in it. Okay. On top of kernel, we get the cell, and on top of cell, what the cell does is it is an intermediator which translates the human readable language to the binary code so that the kernel can understand the same. And on top of that cell, through terminal, we access the cell. On top of that, we get the applications to use, and on top of that, user. I'll give you the architectures, how it looks like. I'll just give you an example with a zip board here. Okay, no need to worry. I'm just briefing you what the kernel is. It consists of multiple modules. And the modules are, what are those modules? For example, there is file management, security management, disk management, file system management, process and service management. All of these kinds of, there are multiple modules available. Okay. So those modules work according to the need of your system. The system requires something according to your system workload. The correct profile will be taken automatically. So that is what the job of a kernel is. The kernel will be handled in a better way. Understood? So if you are working on a server system, so the server gets access from a remotely, right? So there is too much load on your network card. But there is a concept called tuning that was previously not there in Linux in the previous versions, but on Linux 7 onwards, I think the concept of tuning has come, which gives you some different modes in it, which again helps you to modify some of the networks, desktop or balancer. It depends on your servers. Okay, these are all throughputs it gives so that you can better manage your system. Okay, so this is the architecture of Linux, which is very unique to other operating systems. Okay, see what is an operating system? I just tried to show it here. See, the central part is your operating system here, which allocates and manages all the resources. There is your hardware resource, like your hard disk is there, your RAM and CPU is there, and there are some software resources as well. Okay, so both of it a user can manage via your operating system. That is what the job of an operating system is. Understood? And again, if you are facing any doubt at anywhere, you are all allowed to ask the question right there. Okay. So these are, I've collected some of the icons of the different operating systems available. So you know most of them, like Windows is there, Mac is there. This is again the Apple sign. Android is there. Okay. So there are different operating systems. These CentOS is there, which is again a different distribution of the same Linux. Okay. Now the Red Hat is the proprietor. Red Hat is acquired CentOS as well as Fedora under its own proprietorship. We'll be seeing. I'll be giving you a link in which you can go and see all the distributions and all the acquisitions of Linux, what it has actually acquired. Well, these are the popular operating systems that we use generally, like Windows. Some use Mac and some use Linux. But you may know that not all the operating systems support all the hardwares. Are you aware of this thing, guys? Like suppose,
yes, correct.
Yeah, suppose you are having a Mac operating system, you need to install it, but you cannot install it on any hardware. So Apple produces its own hardware where the particular source code for the operating system can be deployed. But Linux, it is quite different from all of that thing. Linux is supported to any hardware, even the supercomputers having high resources. So to manage high resources, like they will be having RAM of 2 TB, 4 TB of RAM, just RAM, and you can imagine the storage they work on. Okay, so with that big of processors and hardware and RAM, to manage all of those resources, your operating system must be able to handle all of these things. It must be that strong, that capable, okay, that good, manageable. If you're facing any issues, the issues should be resolved faster. So that is what Linux provides. Because it is open source, when you are facing a particular problem at any time, the resolution for that, the solution for that, immediately you get, because it is open source, and once you go on web, you get the solution for it immediately. So that is the difference between using other operating systems and Linux. And obviously, like somebody said in the at first, that Linux is highly secure. Yes, it is highly secure. How it is highly secure? Because the other operating systems, first of all, they are not for free. You have to purchase them every year. You have to give some charges to it. On top of that, for the security purpose also, you'll have to pay something. And the security is again not much secure. But in Linux, you get default in the updated versions of Linux, you get default available your firewall concept. Okay. And also you are having some AC Linux concept that is again in our book 1 to 4 and 134. We'll be seeing them. Okay. So you get a very strong security service provided in Linux. That is why we are using going to use Linux operating system. So now you see here, these are two different users, like single user and multi-user. So we used to use single user operating system previously, but now the multi-user operating systems has arrived. So the purpose why I showed you is because we have to have a bit of knowledge of what a single user operating system and a multi-user operating systems actually are. Okay. So a single user operating system is nothing but it allows only one user at a time to log in and perform one task at a time. So all the single user operating systems were not giving multiple users to access and not multiple tasks to do at a time. But because that is too time taking and we faced so much problem, then the concept of multi-user operating system came up, and the multi-user operating system allows multiple users to get into one system, work on it, and perform multiple tasks at a time. Okay, that is the difference between single user operating system and multi-user. To give you an example of what the single user operating system we used to use previously is MS-DOS, you've heard of, right? So previously we used to use MS-DOS, which was again a single user operating system, but then the concepts of multi-user came up, and Linux supports exactly the multi-user and multitasking inside its own operating system. So it provides the benefit of that particular thing. Okay, let us move ahead. Why we should opt for Linux? Okay, like we discussed, it is open source because it is for free. And there is another thing that because it is open source and also Red Hat has its proprietary, it does not mean that only Red Hat and some open source community platform people are working on it. No, it is a misconception actually. Anybody can contribute their own knowledge and expertise, and companies, big companies are now paying their own employees to work on the open source community, open source platform, and the open source platform also pays them with a very high price. So you will say where they are getting their money from, because it is open source, but they are paying you, right, to develop something, to modify something, where they are getting it from the users and the support that they are providing. Because RHEL that we will use, Red Hat Enterprise Linux that we will use, it is for free. You can deploy it for free. You can work it for free. You can change or modify. You are allowed. But while you are facing some problem or challenges, suppose you are working on a organizational environment, and you are facing some particular, very rarely getting some big problems. So you can easily go to Red Hat and ask for the support, and they will be providing you as soon as possible the support. And for that support, they are charging some money. Okay, they're charging some money, and that is not too much. Very less money they will be getting for support, but because of the so much of support that they are providing, they are getting money, and they are constantly their purpose for building Linux was that they will be giving the updates as frequently as possible. Okay, I'll be telling you that in the next slide. So now that we are seeing why we should opt for Linux, because it is open source, it is for free, it is highly secure. I told you the concepts of firewall and SE Linux. It is highly secure. It is highly stable. Why it is highly stable? Because the updates of the versions of the same operating system that you will be using, updates coming faster. So any problem that one user is facing, they flag that particular problem, and the community then and there it starts working on it to make it usable. Okay, so it is highly stable. You don't find problem on using it, and it also for the other operating systems, they take so much of your system resources. But Linux, it does not take so much of your system resources. It takes much lower than if you are using a Windows operating system. The operating system itself, when it loads, it takes at least more than 3 GB of RAM for its own operating system. Okay, but Linux, it does not take that much. It takes very less. Okay, and it is highly stable, ease of maintenance. Okay, runs on any hardware, and customization is very easy. There are so many customization things are available in Linux that you can use. With the updated versions, it is even coming more customization options available to you. The version 9 for the Linux is on the way. The beta version is already out, and it is said to be one of the highly usable and going to be highly popular very soon. And you can see the education purpose that it has shown, that it provides education. Red Hat is not just a company that provides you the whatever products that it has, the OEMs and all its verticals, like in the middleware, it has JBoss. No, it don't just give you its products. It also supports the education. Red Hat has its own academy, and it wants everyone in the world, whoever wants to learn about Linux, learn about how modification and changes, whatever they want. It has opened its own platform for education. Understood? So it gives you the materials, it gives you all the details that you need to learn about Linux. Okay, whatever module you need to learn, whatever, everything is for free. Red Hat provides it to you, to its students, those who want to learn. Okay, these are all the benefits, and it provides support. And the Red Hat's support that it provides, it is one of the fastest support providers. Okay, they try to resolve your problem as soon as possible. So these are all the reasons why we should opt for Linux. Okay. So see, there are different distributions like we discussed just previously, few minutes ago. So there are more than 200 types of distributions available of Linux, of which I have only collected a few of them. But for your information, you may know the SUSC. Somebody said OpenSUSC is there, and Kali Linux is there. Okay, LU Ubuntu is there, Deepin, Marjaro, Solaris. Okay, so all of these things are there. And I will also tell you the Fedora distribution of Linux and the CentOS distribution of Linux are now merged with RHEL operating system of Linux. The Red Hat's own enterprise version of Linux operating system that they have, Fedora and CentOS, they are all the acquisitions of Red Hat right now. And how they work, I'll be showing you in one of the PPTs here. Okay. So let us see who is Red Hat actually. Who is Red Hat? Red Hat is nothing but a company. Okay, it is an American multinational software company. It is some people I have seen when I ask what is Red Hat, they say it is an operating system. So if you are not aware of this, let me tell you, Red Hat is an American software company that provides open source software products to the enterprise community. And this thing is very important, that it provides software products to the enterprise community. You see, enterprise community. The purpose of opening Red Hat, the founders of Red Hat, who is Linus Torvalds, his aim was to provide the products to the end community or enterprise community. He didn't want to share the operating system to the just normal purpose use or playing games and all that. He wanted it to be so effective so that you can make things on it, make softwares and manage the things. Okay, all of those things. Red Hat, it was Red Hat's goal. So when it was founded in 1993, and Red Hat has its own corporate headquarters in Raleigh. It was just for your information, in North Carolina, with other offices worldwide. Okay, in India also, Red Hat has its own offices. It became a subsidiary of IBM on 9th of July 2019. So what happened? IBM has been the partner of Red Hat for so many years now, but from 9th of July 2019, IBM has acquired most of Red Hat. Okay, but it does not mean that Red Hat is not a individual community right now and it does not have anything in its own hand. No, there were some terms and conditions while this acquisition of IBM to the Red Hat. Red Hat works as a own individual. Okay, one personal organization still. Okay, the IBM just has its own controls like managing and all, but Red Hat is still one of the biggest open source community in the world, which is not under any of the proprietorship. Okay, so don't think that IBM that it has now acquired Red Hat, it will not be it will be closed source soon. No, it will not be like that. They have some terms and conditions based on which they have acquired. So I told you what Red Hat does actually. I will share you this link.
Guru Prasad, excuse me.
Yeah,
While ago you said that Red Hat has taken the merged with other two
IBM.
operating systems. No. You
Yeah,
said
yeah,
while
yeah.
ago that Ubuntu and other one more. You
It
said
was
that
CentOS and Fedora. Yeah, tell me.
CentOS Fedora now become part of Red Hat. You mean?
Yeah. It is a part of Red Hat. So what it happens, I'll tell you in the next slide. It is what happens. Let me just brief you out. When an update is about to come, so Red Hat, what it does, it takes the source code and tries it in the Fedora first. Okay, understanding like that. So Fedora is an open source community. Again, it works under the open source community, but Red Hat has its acquisitions. Okay, what it does, it tries out all the modified or software codes or source codes and tries it first in the Fedora. And when it works fine, or it has some errors or something like that, it tries to modify it again, make the changes, and it will try again in the CentOS. So you see the filter process is happening. Okay, so the first layer is that Red Hat is using is in Fedora. And once it is successful in Fedora, they will try it in the CentOS. They will apply the update in the CentOS. So you see the number of versions, the latest version you see of the CentOS is still 8.6, I think. And the same as RHEL, Red Hat's enterprise Linux operating system. Once it is successful in CentOS, then they take that and distribute into RHEL operating system. So the RHEL operating system, it has the finest of the services available inside the with all its updates. So you won't be getting any bugs while working on the RHEL operating system, and the supports are really fast. Okay.
So I mean, you mean to say that, but at the end, it's a three different OS, right? Linux, but it's a three different flavor.
Yeah. You can use it. You can use CentOS. You can use Fedora. Whatever you need, you can use. You can use RHEL-OS. Okay, RHEL operating system. We'll be in our classes. We'll be seeing CentOS as well as RHEL operating system. We'll try to install it. We'll be trying to work on it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the list of acquisitions by Red Hat, the link is here. I'll be sending you in the chat box. You can go through it, and all the verticals of the Red Hat, what it has offered, you will be able to see it. Understood?
Yeah. Now my question now. Okay, if Red Hat acquire this Fedora and other what you said, these two, yes, CentOS. Then in the future, maybe these two will not be available. It will be only Red Hat, or Red Hat will manage both.
It will always be available in open source as it used to be. Okay.
But it will be managed by Red Hat.
The companies are being managed by Red Hat.
Okay. Correct. Okay. But there will be some, but some software will support. They will say specifically, okay, you should have Linux, Fedora Linux, and some this application will say no, we need CentOS, like this, right?
I didn't get your question actually.
No. I mean, it is case by case, right? We will use maybe CentOS or maybe Fedora, maybe Red Hat, right? Depends.
Yeah, it is completely up to you. See, in the enterprise organizations, sorry, give me a minute. In the organizations, what they do, they try to use the operating systems which is very efficient. Okay, they don't want any problems during their work, because in the production environment you don't have much time to give excuses to the clients, right? You don't have much of excuses, much time. So you have to choose the better one. What is the more very best one in the market? You need to use that one. So Red Hat is constantly trying to build up its own operating system with its own support. It tries to help the organizations. The main priority or the goal of Linus Torvalds to develop Linux was the same thing, only thing, because when Linus Torvalds was working on the Unix operating system. So before Linux, there was Unix operating systems, right? Let me brief you about that. So in the Unix operating system, when people were using, there were also different distributions of Unix as well. Like IBM had its own distribution of Unix, BSD, IRIX, QNX, Solaris. They're all having their HP also having one Unix like operating system. It was one of its distributions. These were all also open source, but they did not. They were not supporting, or the lack of support promises that they were giving. That was the major disadvantage for the organizations. So similarly, Linus Torvalds was the man who who invented Red Hat actually in 1993. He was working on a project, Minix project actually, in the University of Helsinki. He was inside. Okay, so he was facing some problem with HP version of Unix. What he did, he approached to the company Unix, HP's Unix. He asked for support. They ignored him for some time. Then he tried to approach him again. In the end mail, what he got is like, we did not given you any promise that we will be supporting you. You understand? So that is when Linus Torvalds was broke down, because he believed that the company will be helping him in supporting with the updates, but the company was not providing updates. So at some particular place he was stuck. He could not move on. So that is when he decided that I will make one operating system on my own. He was a very talented guy. What he did, he started working day and night. And in 1991, with 10,000 lines of code he written, Unix-like, okay, from Unix only, Unix-like operating system. He made some changes, 10,000 lines of codes that he written, and the Linux operating system of his version he released. And his goal was that I faced the challenge of not getting any support, but my only goal will be to support the organizations. So that is the fundamental goal based on which Linux started. Understood? And from there on, Linux is constantly providing updates. So it promised that every 3 years you will be getting the bigger updates. Okay, and in between every 4 months, 6 months, you'll be getting the in between updates, like 8 to 9 every 3 years. Now that 3 years is coming to be over. Linux RHEL9 update is already here. The beta version is already here. So in between 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.5, 8.6, all of these in between updates, in between latest updates, Linux is constantly providing. RHEL is constantly providing. Okay. So this is the reason, and don't think that now that it has acquired CentOS and Fedora, it will take its own control and it will not be open source. They are completely open source, but there is one challenge using CentOS and Fedora. I will tell you that you will not get support. That is completely free. You can use it, but the problems you only have to solve it on your own. But RHEL, because it is the purest version, you won't be facing much problems inside. But if you are facing some major challenges that you are not able to fix the bugs or issues, Red Hat is always there ready for you to support. Okay. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, clear. Thank you.
Yeah. So see here what Red Hat does. Red Hat creates, maintains, and contributes to many free software projects. So there are so many free software projects are available right now. It has acquired several proprietary software as well that I informed you. I will give some of the examples of the different verticals of Red Hat that it has. See, in the platform layer, Red Hat gives you the RHEL operating system that you will be working on. For the storage purpose, again, Red Hat gives you the service. virtualization environment, server hardening, and troubleshooting. These are the platforms that Red Hat is providing you the support at. And in the middleware, Red Hat has its acquired the JBoss, which again it is giving the support. In the cloud-based infrastructure, you get the OpenStack to work on. Cloud forms are available, and hybrid cloud management facilities, they're available. These are all Red Hat's own proprietary-based products. And in the field of DevOps, Ansible is there, the automation tool, configuration management tool, or whatever you need to say. And Puppet is again the automation tool, which is being acquired by Red Hat. But Ansible is Red Hat's own OEM. Okay. And Ansible Tower concept is there inside Ansible. And now in the market, Ansible is just trending. Okay. Previously, Puppet.
What do you mean Ansible, Guru Prasad?
Ansible is nothing but the Ansible is nothing but the automation tool with which you will be able to work on number of systems. Okay, I'm just giving a little example. Suppose you are working on an organization, you have one system through which you need to make some changes, some updates, some work on all the systems that in your organization that you have. Suppose you have 200 systems. You can control and maintain all of them through one system, which is called the automation process. It is a centralized automation tool, which is very trending right now, which is again having a disadvantage of so many system administrators are losing their jobs. But still, Ansible is the thing that every organization wants to use. Okay.
Okay.
And Puppet and OpenShift, you must have heard of. So these are all also the different acquisitions of Red Hat that we have.
Ansible also we are covering, right, in our course, right?
In our course, we will also be covering Ansible. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
The whole Ansible.
Okay.
See, here you will get the different projects and different business models, how it works, the genome environment, KVM that supports a virtualization environment. You have all of these things, self storage, how it works, self storage similar to Puppet. Okay, OpenShift you get, and the cloud forms. What are the subsidiaries? You get Red Hat says, check, and Red Hat merger acquisition. See, in the acquisition field, you will get to know all the different products that Red Hat has acquired till now. See, all of these products. Atomic Vision is there. Okay, and some popular. See, this is the middleware that most organizations use. Even here in Prodevance, in the projects for middleware, we use JBoss here. And Gluster is again the platform, storage platform you get. Okay, Ansible, the configuration management tool, orchestration engine. So these are all the different distributions that Red Hat has. Okay. Well, released software under open source licenses. As of March 2016, Red Hat is the second largest corporate contributor to the Linux kernel version 4.14 after Intel. So Linux is constantly increasing its the latest versions of its kernel. Okay, you will be getting much higher performance with the each updates of your kernel version. You will be getting higher performance. Okay. So this is the thing that I was telling you, that what Red Hat Enterprise Linux situates in the core, and the filters are available. See the open source community under which Fedora project works, and under once it is being tested inside Fedora project, they try it inside the CentOS, and then the filtered final filtered product comes into Red Hat Enterprise Linux level. Okay, so it is the most trusted operating system used by many bigger organizations. Red Hat provides services to commercial customers. 7-year maintenance and updates has been done already. technical support is being provided, training and consulting services is being provided by Red Hat. Why change and what open source community helps to the industries? See, 100% of airlines in the Fortune Global 500 are all Red Hat's customers. 100% of the telecom industries are all Fortune Global 500, which works under this. They're all Red Hat's customers. All the healthcare industries, they're all the Red Hat's customers. Similarly, commercial banks and the financial industries, companies that they're also relying on Red Hat, because Red Hat's support is very good. Its updates are really fast, and the environment that you'll be able to work on is very handy. Okay, that is all. And about the course structure, here is the division that I told you that I'll be showing you in this class. See. The Linux is the RHEL8 that currently we are using is again distributed into two types, RHCSA and RHCE. RHCSA is nothing but Red Hat Certified System Administrator and Red Hat Certified Engineer. So Red Hat Certified Engineer is nothing but the Ansible part that we were talking about. Okay. RHCSA that we will be first be discussing will take somewhere around 28 to 34 days. And see, in between some holidays will come. So you can expect within 40 days, all the RHCSA chapters will be covered. Just a minute. Somebody's trying to get in now. Okay, welcome. See, the RHCSA, the Red Hat Certified System Administrator, is further divided into two books. Here are the book codes, Red Hat 124 and 134. Okay, so these are two books. I'll be showing you the Red Hat 124 and 134 today. And once we are finished with this part, the RHCSA part, then only we will be moving on to the RHCE. And also, once you are done with the RHCSA, you can always go for the examination, which is highly recommended. Okay, once you go for examination, the preparation for the examination will be such that you will be understanding the problems of the real world, and you will be appearing the examination where your ability will be tested, you will be certified, and your value addition to your CV will be there. Okay, so most of the Red Hat that hires the clients, its own employees, it sees whether they are certified or not. So once you are certified, that means you are capable of understanding the real-time problems of the system administration. So once you're done with the RHCSA course and certification, then you are recommended to go for RHCE. Even if you are not going for examination and trying to learn RHCE, that is fine. But first of all, you have to finish up your system administration course. Okay, once you are finished, you can go for RHCE, and then recommendedly you can go for the examination. All right, is that clear, everyone? I'm going to show you the book.
Yeah.
If you have any doubts, you can just ask.
Guru Prasad, you will also provide some coaching as well, right, for exam?
Yeah. We will be guiding you thoroughly. We will be guiding you till you give your examination from beginning to end. We will be giving you some real-time scenarios where you will have to work, and the most probable questions that Red Hat may ask. We'll all be discussing on that particular thing. But for that, we first have to finish up our courses. Course structure, what is there, we'll be seeing it. Any other queries or doubts?
Yes, Guru. How long will RHCE will be?
See, once you finish up RHCSA, is you can easily finish it within 12 to 15 days. The course is not more than that. Okay. 12 to 15 days is more than enough. Where 10 to 12 classes will be there, and in between you get 1 or 2 holidays. That is again different. Okay. Automation.
It will be Monday to Friday, right?
Yeah, Monday to Friday. It depends you can always ask to Saujanya ma'am or Soumya ma'am. They will be guiding you. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Do you have any doubts or problems you need to ask? You feel free to ask me. And here under RHCSA, we'll be seeing working on different virtual machines, creating virtual machines and working on them, working on the server level, and we'll learn the networking part. Okay, so the most important thing to work in an IT industry that most people lack in today's world is the knowledge of having the networking. Okay, the networking concepts people are not clear, which is not good at all. If you want to thrive in the IT industry, you have to have the knowledge of at least the basic knowledge of all the networking concepts. Okay, what is a switch, what is a router, how it works, what is a DHCP, what is a bridge, how it functions, how the virtualization concept work on a particular system you create. All the things, resources are being virtualized, how the environment is being created, everything we'll be discussing in our
How will be the lab in our course?
That is again very important question. Lab is being provided, I think the whole week. Okay, you can get access to. Maybe Sunday you will not be getting the labs, but Sunday lab no, I think Sunday you will not be getting labs, but from Monday to Saturday you will be getting at least 2 to 3 hours of lab, which is more than sufficient to use. And we have ample systems with us to give you access to. We'll be giving you the contact number. I hope you'll be created one group and you all will be there. And the trainer of the lab will be also be there, who will be giving you access and providing you support during your lab practice. If you're facing some problem, you can directly contact with him or inside the group that we'll be creating. If you're facing any issues, you can just take a screenshot of the same thing and put it in the group so that any other student or the present trainers available, they will be able to help you out right then and there. Understood?
Okay, timing will be same time, right? This time.
Timing will be again, yeah, which suits you best. Okay, that Swami madam will be again telling me on which timing is best to take the classes. We'll be taking 6:30 in the evening batch. That if you're joining, 6:30 is the time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody else is trying to ask me something.
So how can got today recording? Because I am late.
Recordings. Okay. Please again contact with madam. The class is being recorded. I hope you can see it here. The class is being recorded, and
Yes.
you'll be getting.
I have seen, but I want today recording.
Sure. We'll be trying to help.
Okay.
Is that fine? Anything else?
Thank you so much, Guru Prasad.
Yeah, let us.
Nice.
Yeah, fine, thank you. Let us get into the book. First of all, the first book. This is your Red Hat System Administration 1. This is the book that is being provided by Red Hat Academy. Okay. So Red Hat provides 2 books for the RHCSA part, and this is your first book. You see, Red Hat System Administration 1. So this is your first book. This is how it looks like in the front page, and you see the code for the book is 124. These are the contents available in the book. Let us see some of the contents here and how many chapters there is. See, first of all, introduction will be there. Getting started with Linux, what and why. These are all theory classes. The first 2 classes will be, and then from the second onwards, you'll getting the understanding of command lines. Okay, accessing the command lines, where you will be learning how to use the command line. What is the difference between a cell and what are the command line interfaces available for you? Okay, how can you graphically connect to it, and how you can connect with the different virtual machines. Everything, the basic things we will be teaching you here in the second class. The third class, managing files from the command line will be there. So how you can manage, create and manage files, And by names again, different concepts of giving the path to a file, what are the relative paths, what are the absolute paths, and everything we will be seeing here. Then the cell expansion. Okay, these are all the basic things for the first 4-5 classes. No need to worry anything. Fourth chapter will be getting help in Red Hat Enterprise Linux, which is a small chapter where you'll be learning the manual pages, where you will be able to see what are all the commands are all about. Okay, how you can get help with the particular command. So that is where these are all things inside the fourth chapter. Creating, viewing, and editing text files. How you can create, how many types of commands are there that you can create an empty file, or you can add a file directly, or view a file, everything. And the best part, let me tell all of you here, that in each and every chapter that you will be covering, you will be getting, you see here, the guided exercise thing. The guided exercise you will be getting in each and every chapter. See, in the fourth chapter, guided exercise there. More than one guided exercises you will be getting. Okay, see, guided exercise 2. And here is also 2-3 guided exercise in some big chapters you will be getting. So what it does, in each chapter, it gives some theory of the particular command, and it will be showing you the screenshots again inside the same book. You will be getting below screenshots, how you can use the command. Okay, how you can access to the commands. If you're facing what solution you can do, each and everything. This book is so elaborative that you don't even need somebody's guidance. You can work it out on your own. But still, in the intermediate stage, people face problems, and which is again a good thing. If you are facing some problems, you are correcting it on your own or with some help, then only you don't forget it. Otherwise, you will forget. So you see, these are all the screenshots of the command line. It gives you how you can access to the lab. It explains you about the same command, and then how you can work it out on your system. It gives you this screenshot here, you see, and some laboratory environment is given here. I'll be explaining you in the upcoming classes. No need to worry. Managing local users and groups, how you can create users, how you can create groups, and how you can manage all of those things, and you can give some permissions to it. There is super user concept, there is normal user concept, how you can provide a normal user some permissions that of a root user, everything. Controlling access to files. Okay, monitoring and managing Linux processes. What are the listing processes, what is the killing processes? Okay, with the guided exercises. With the guided exercises means, in the guided exercise, what you will get questions as well as the elaborative answers with it. Once you read out the question, you try to understand it on your own. Then you practice how to do it, how to solve the particular problem. That is when your understanding builds up. Okay. And the controlling services and diamonds. This is again a very good chapter. And configuring, securing SSH, secure shell concept. We're getting in the chapter 10. Okay. How you can connect to a virtual machine with key-based authentication and OpenSSH. Everything is available inside. Analyzing and storing logs. Log file is very important chapter again. And reviewing syslog files with the guided exercises you will be getting. Okay. So like that, you have at least 16 chapters, and the 17th will be like to summarize all of them, and it will be giving you the again the lab environment where you can work on. It will give you some exercises. Okay. So that was all about the book 124, RH124, and this is your RH134, which is again a comparatively small book than RH124, but it has the most important chapters as well. So improving command line productivity with bash scripts. So the scripting, somebody said scripting. You will, those of you who do not know the scripting thing and all, you will be learning here. Scheduling future tasks, the cron job, how it works, how you can schedule a particular activity on a particular time. on a particular day, you can fix it. How you can schedule that future task, you'll be learning here in this concept. And in the examination, for sure, you will be getting one question from this chapter. Okay. And the tuning system performance, this particular chapter was not there inside the book, or it had a separate examination for it. This is system performance tuning. You were having a different examination for it, but now Red Hat has merged it inside the Red Hat system administration course. So again, you will be getting one question from this chapter as well in the examination. Controlling access to files with ACL. Again, all of these chapters, you'll be getting some questions, at least one or two questions you'll be getting. So I request you to attend all the classes. Don't depend on the recordings, because in the recordings, what it happens, either you won't be able to focus it properly, or if you have any doubts, you won't be able to ask. So by the time, if you are left out, means 4 or 5 chapters, the classes ahead, and you are behind the classes, you will feel demotivated. Okay, you will feel like you are not able to cope up. So I request you to everyone attend the classes. Managing SE Linux security, that I just told you in the first minute only. The security purpose, SE Linux is highly recommended to learn. Okay, how you can manage the basic storage. Now storage concept is very important. Again, storage part, managing logical volumes, how you can get logical volumes and increase the size, decrease the size, implementing advanced storage features, controlling boot processes. Booting processes, again, the important chapter here in the book 134. Okay. And what is managing network security using firewall concept? I told you, right? Firewall concept, and everything with guided exercises. So you will not find a single chapter without the guided exercises here. You're practicing something, learning something. It has given you the fully guide to how you can practice it. Practice makes a man perfect, right? So Red Hat has taken it seriously. So this is all about the book 134, that will be learning 1 to 4 and finish it 1 to 4, and then we'll be moving on to RH134. So no need to worry. We'll be seeing each and everything here. If you're facing any doubt in understanding anything, you can just ask me right now. If I can help you, I will. If I can't, I'll be asking the help from our management. Please, guys. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, Guru. And one more, what is the the course curriculum for the CE?
RHCE, the soft copy of the same book is not available with me right now. In the future classes, if you wish, I can show it to you. Okay.
Okay. So it's in that there's only be Ansible or any other things?
Yeah, there will be only Ansible, because see, again, there is concept of DO447 in it. But that particular concept, if you learn deeply, you will have to give a separate examination for that. So when you appear for the Ansible examination, you are not going for DO447, which is the advanced level of Ansible.
Okay. Okay. So for the administration part is enough, right? For, I mean, to manage and things, everything.
Yeah. Administration part is not just enough. It is more than enough, actually. Okay. Only once you understand the administration thing, the Ansible is nothing for you. That is why you take some 30 to 40 days for the RHCSA part and only 10 to 15 days for the Ansible part. You understand?
Yep.
That is the difference. The basics are all inside Linux RHCSA. Okay. Everything is being covered. The tuning part, the security part, the all of these chapters that you don't even means deeply need to understand, but they have still given, because they want everyone to have the students to have the knowledge of it. At least they have to have the knowledge.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Guru Prasad, you will be the trainer also for CE, right?
See, we have so many trainers available in course, and it entirely depends on the whether I'm having the other classes with me. If I will be able to take in the same time, I will. If other batches is allocated to me, I may not be able to take your class.
But you used to do, right?
Yeah, I take classes.
Okay. Thank you, Guru. You presented in a short time with a good explanation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to you. Anyone else having any doubt? I hope not. So, shall we finish the session here today? And in the upcoming classes, we'll be beginning with the practicalities. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
At that time?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Guru.
All of you, thank you so much for your patience and hearing to me.
Yeah, thanks all.
Thank you all. Okay. See you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye all.
Guru, is some issue happened? I was unable to see the record, see your screen, and unable to hear your voice.
My screen was the whole time it was said, and my mic is also on. So if you're facing any problem,
so that's why I've rejoined again.
Okay. No issues. The recording is with us. We'll be sharing that. Okay.
So the session completed or still?
Yeah, the session is just completed.
Okay, thank you. We'll meet tomorrow. So yes. I think Saturday, Sunday is off, right?
Yeah, I think Saturday and Sunday will not be having the classes because it's online. Monday to Friday is generally it is there. But if the management has some different plans, they'll be letting you know. Okay.
Actually, I used to join Praveen's session.
Praveen, sir. Okay.
Yes. But due to some concerns, so I have not joined since 1 month.
Okay.
So that's why I've joined you. I've joined your session.
No issues. That's completely fine.
Okay. Thank you. We'll meet on Monday.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for giving this information.
Thank you, Sai Ganesh. You're welcome to the future classes. Okay.
And I'm working in a mining sector. This is the I'm entering to. I'm entering to. I'm new in IT sector.
Okay. No issues.